Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Target. Black 22. Black 22.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he's across the 40 for the extra yards to the 43. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight 1st down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there at 22. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And he is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Now Jones. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Collins. And he stopped immediately there. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
And how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll go with the keeper. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's a first down run with Collins. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Jackson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Crabtree the target on that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
He's going deep for Brown, and that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. John Brown, 64 yards. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now a handoff to Miller. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Throw right side into the hands of Akins. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Watson setting up the screen for Miller. Oh, some strong running, and he is out of bounds inside the 35. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
First down carry now for Miller. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, Watson. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play actions.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans are in for 6. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now it's Jackson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Pulled in at the 24. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They begin with a run by Miller. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Richmond.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now. That's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To the air yet again, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Jackson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And this time, Jackson will throw it. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Crabtree, once again, the intended target. 3rd down here.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. To throw again is Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Throwing is Jackson. A right side catch by Crabtree. Gave a glimpse of his quick feet and then taken down right at the 30. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Watch it now, Barney!
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And it's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, Jackson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Watson, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Drops it underneath for Collins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now Jackson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Caught here by Griffin. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. He's going to look deep down the field. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on. On it at second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Back to throw, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 30 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
More now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they called the field general.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson on second down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. Crabtree, the intended receiver. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling, maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
They run with Collins. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. The Ravens on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is Collins on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Here's a give to Miller. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. 44 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal.
Richmond.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense,
that is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins from a yard out, and the Texans will extend their lead. Oh, this is blocked. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Jackson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Crabtree that time, and that'll make it 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Buying time to his left. He's going to let it fly. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.